Hello. I am the actor known as Shane Scott, and we are doing the interviews for Damage Control 2.
Inferno.
Yes, dude. You know. But, first up we got Sean Scott, director, producer, writer, actor. What don't you do? I mean, what don't you do?
I'm pretty sure I've done everything.
Oh.
It's kind of a big deal.
So I guess let's get right into the questions. How did you get into character?
Well, I played Skullface in the film,
Yes.
so...
Indeed.
I don't know, I had a lot more lines this time around. Like, the first movie, I kind of felt like I didn't really, like, try to get into character at all. I just kind of, like, went for it.
Interesting tidbit.
I wasn't really that important, and all my core scenes were cut from the original movie. In this movie, a lot of my core scenes were cut as well, but...
Most of the movie was cut as well.
Like, to be honest, I really wasn't thinking about my character when we were filming. Directing was, like, the main thing on my mind, and I just kind of put any acting I could have done, just... I'm better than Keith, though. I'm fine. That's about how that went.
Yeah. Okay, so what were some highlights from shooting?
The biggest highlight would probably be our really last day of filming. It was... We had, Keith on the cross, which was a thing that was always going to be in the finale of the whole series, so I really wanted...
Oh.
I just really wanted that in there, so that was always fun.
Right?
Keith on the cross is just hilarious.
I mean, we actually got to crucify Keith.
Yeah, crucifying Keith, like, come on. And then the jaw scene was also a kill that I really wanted, but when we had to, like, fix our schedule due to, like, the
damage control
issues,
being done?
Yeah, damage control had to be done. I had to like change everything, and that kill scene got cut. So basically, I just reworked
that's an
everything.
interesting fun fact right there.
So I just reworked everything to keep it in there.
I mean, I guess that's kind of what were some obstacles, but those were some.
The biggest obstacle of filming our first movie, our second one, and even the ones we're working on like right now.
You already tell.
Just we can. It's so hard to get people together on the filming schedule, and that will always be a problem because we don't pay our actors
at all.
I'd like to point out everything in the movie comes out of my pocket, which sucks. Last movie I made $2.
Yeah, and Keith immediately requested to have some of that money.
Immediately questioned too. He did not deserve any of it.
I mean,
not a cent.
What does he actually do?
He's the monkey behind the camera. I think we.
No, he's not on top. I mean,
quiet. Up, down, hand down, hand down. Good boy. Continue.
What would you like better, directing or acting?
Jeez.
Or directing.
I like that.
He's
acting
a director.
Is a lot of fun, but when I'm a director, it's not. So I would say
he's a douchebag when he's a director. Let's just say that.
I'm not that. I'm not bad. You guys
this
get
is
mad.
When we edit in some stuff.
You guys get mad at me just because I want multiple takes of a scene when it doesn't go well. And that's like not a bad director.
So where do you think the series is going after the second installment?
I actually have the entire third one mapped out, which is a lot of like unused ideas from the second movie that had to all get cut.
And the damage control is going to happen. You're only going to get to use one of them.
But I know exactly what I want to do for the third movie. And from there, I actually have 2 movies past the third one mapped out, along with 2 spinoffs and a crossover film. That might sound a little too extravagant, and we probably never will do it, but I have all of the ideas ready. But if we never do get to it, Damage Control 3 would be a good ending for the whole series.
So yeah, you just definitely want to get the third one, make it a trilogy.
At the very least, that's what we're going to do. Next,
that's good.
So, filming in 2017 possibly for Damage Control 3, and it wouldn't be released until then the following year. And another thing is, I believe the title is going to be Damage Control 3 Revelations.
Oh.
Because like the Book of Revelations, and
like a revelation.
It reveals who's behind it.
Interesting. So, any spoilers you want for the next movie? Who's got a big time character? I mean.
Well, hopefully we'll have Rippin come back as yet another character who it just dies and is unrelated to his previous characters. And all of the killers you saw from Damage Control 2 should be in the third one.
That's intense.
Yeah, including Slaughter, this breakout star.
the breakout star. Look for Slaughter in the Slaughter edition of Damage Control 1. Because, boom, that's me. And that's pretty much all we got for Sean. So, nice having you on here.
Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, yeah, we did a good job, I thought. Movie turned out, actually, I think, better than the first one.
I believe it was a lot better.
It's a lot more entertaining, more blood. We can't really go wrong with that, I guess, so... Not
meaning to give more praise to Shane, but I definitely liked the third killer we added, and I think having 3 killers was a better dynamic.
I was just that good. I mean...
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but...
I mean, the whole clown Slaughter thing, I think Slaughter is the psycho to James Bull's retard to your actual non-retard, non-psycho character. Probably more sociopath, psychopath, retard.
I think that's a good way to end
But James pulls it off, and so...
I think that's a good way to end
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's nice having you on here. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, since our last interview.
Gonna get up and leave now.
Last interview. Okay. Come back soon for the next interview. Now we are with James Bull, who plays Inferno in Damage Control 1 and 2. You know, the retard that doesn't talk, that's James. So, how was it getting into character? Did you do anything specific, or...?
I just kind of went off, I can't say it's all instinct, but, well, when you get into acting, there's like an instinct that goes along.
So, just to be a retarded serial murderer is just instinct for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
makes sense.
A lot of it I took from Jason Voorhees, this just kind of slow walking, doesn't really have any emotions, just kind of
Totally handicapped.
pissed off.
Yeah. I thought you did a decent job with it, because you kind of feel like one of those stereotypical killers from movies, just doesn't talk, just wants to kill everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I went for.
Yeah, you do a good job. So what were some highlights or your favorite parts of the shooting?
Rippin's jaw off. It's probably the best.
Yeah, that was a good, that seems to be everybody's like go-to, because that's the best special effects we could possibly do.
I think the most time went into doing that too. It was like the big sequence that like what everybody wanted to see.
Big, like a little bucket of blood and a jaw. Which is a little awkward, but I always found it funny in that scene. You look like you barely pull it, and then this jaw just comes flying off, and there's like a bucket of blood. So, that was interesting. But yeah, that was probably the best like special effect we could do. So.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it turned out well. So, I mean, Haley Atwell made the jaw, so good job there. If you ever see this, don't know. What were some obstacles for the filming?
What do you mean, like difficulties?
Yeah, difficulties. Anything we came with.
People just not being able to show up. People leaving the set. People messing around.
Yeah, it was a lot better
usually
than
like the
last
same
time.
two people. I mean, I'm not gonna say the name.
Yeah,
it's kind of obvious.
But
if you want to watch the last interview, you'll know what I'm talking about.
So that kind of answers my third question. What do you think of Abby from the first movie that ended up getting cut from her role?
She's a cunt.
Interesting. So that's still your feelings on that subject. I'm guessing if I asked you who your favorite killer was, it would be you. I would say, what was your favorite thing to do, like, besides the jaw? Is there any specific kill you enjoyed, or?
I liked the one with Nate, where
That
it was this massive, like, 10-foot pole. Just kind of bring it out. Well, I brought it down on his head, and Shane did something before. I think Shane stabbed him in the.
Yeah, I was running by, hit him with a machete. Yeah. That pole was interesting because we were gonna use his maul from the first one, but
I left it at my dad's.
So so we were just walking in the woods, and there was a pipe that James just happened to be like, "Oh, this will work," and we broke the pipe off, and it turned out to work out. So that was interesting. And when he slammed it down, a bunch of mud that's probably been in there for like 50 years from the inside. This is festering, goes all over the cameraman, Keith.
Yeah.
I mean,
made a good noise for it. We don't have to change anything. But other than that,
another interesting scene with Nate and you is when Nate, one of the outtakes, Nate's on his knees and you're in front of him and you look up. He looks up at you, and he gets right to your crotch and he just starts laughing. So that was a part I enjoyed about.
Yeah.
Nate's scenes were good. We got those done really quickly. It got us all gung-ho about the movie, and then it just fell apart again. And then we got back together, and after some damage control, it turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
So, in the end, I would say James's acting is one of the ones that keep us there. So, good job, James. You did a good job. Nice having you on my show again.
Thank you. Good.
I'll see you in the next movie.
Good to be on there.
Unless we recast you. I mean, you don't know.
It might happen.
Might happen. So we need somebody bigger, scarier, and dumber. So. Hello. Now we're here with Jacob Rippin, who reprises a new role in Damage Control 2, Inferno. So how did you get into character?
I was kind of a prick.
It's always a good way to do it.
Yeah, I thought about dying.
And you didn't want to die. That's a good way to get into character.
The opposite. How I wanted to die.
So what were some highlights from the shooting?
Probably when Steven was LARPing.
That was a good one.
Probably running around the woods. I fell down one time.
And yeah, losing your wallet must have been fun.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, because like we had to come back and look through the whole woods for his wallet. And we were walking around for a while, and then the Asian one found it. So I don't know if the squintiness helped like show it, but I'm guessing that had something to do with it because none of the white kids could find it. What were some obstacles during shooting?
People couldn't show up. They were difficult.
That seems like it's been a problem for the last few damage controls, so the whole reason it's called damage control now is because of that. So that was interesting. So which one of the killers was your favorite?
I don't know. They all have a lot of qualities I really like.
You admire in a person, you would
Yeah.
say. Okay, you go that far. Because, I mean, James is kind of brutal, dumbness. Sean's like tactical thinking, and then Slaughter's impulsive, just brutality, I guess, is something to respect in them. What was it like to transition to the main character from just being kind of a, hey, he's in this movie, to, hey, he's the main character?
Pretty fun. I got one day Sean...
This is not the first time this has happened in an interview, so just roll with it.
Sean texted me one day. He was like, hey, how do you feel about being the main character? And I was like, well, I'd be up for that.
Yeah. Because it was interesting. We had a bunch of characters, then we had to cut most of the movie down. So that was interesting. And it was just like, hey, and then we had to rope a whole new twist at the end with somebody just because they're the only ones that could show up with Griffin, so it made it interesting. So I'm going to wrap up this now, because if I ask another question, he's going to take everything off, and then we're at NC-17, and we can't distribute it. I don't even think anybody will show it. I mean, James would buy all the copies, but... So, it was nice having you on here. Yeah.
Thank you.
You were good in the movie.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm sorry to inform you, but we were interviewing Keith Hansz, who's the camera guy for part of the movie. I mean, the only thing he really contributed was being crucified, which we do thank you for that, even though your hands kept moving.
I kept shaking around because if we actually nailed my hands in the cross...
He was up there for over an hour, probably about 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was a long time. So, how did you get into character?
Well, I was kind of the same character I always am. Everyone just breaks me, and I didn't really have a choice in the matter. You guys were going to hang me up there whether I wanted to or not, so I might as well pretend I wanted to do it.
So you didn't want to do it?
I don't remember anymore. I kind of blocked it out of my memory.
So what were some highlights of the shooting?
Well, before we were shooting, we were setting up the cross. James and I were being retards, as we usually are. We went to go knock down a tree, and the tree snapped in half and landed on my shoulder and basically took me out.
Knocked him out.
I wasn't really filming, but you know.
And he's the one that should be the smart one.
I'm retarded, sorry.
Yeah.
My actual favorite scene was probably when Rippin just gets casually stabbed in the back by Taylor.
Yeah,
that was
a good one. He just didn't seem to be too angry that he got stabbed.
And I think we used like a potato or something, the sound effect.
Yeah,
something real
the
stupid.
sound effects that day when we were doing sound effects, you bit into a potato to get a good sound, and it actually sounded really good. We probably could have used an apple and got the same thing out of it.
They wanted me to eat a potato.
But he wanted to eat a potato, so. How was it? What was it like being up on the cross? Was your arms tired, legs tired?
I mean, at the beginning it was kind of fun looking down at everyone. Well, the first cross wasn't, because after about 30 seconds it started to snap in half and I was going to fall and die. But after that, we got it all fixed up.
He was up on the cross. We put an actual board up for the top, but for his feet, I'm like, hey, we'll just put a rotted stick. And he's tied up there, and I hear him like, guys, it's breaking! And we untie him just in time, and it broke right then. Or he probably would have dislocated his shoulder, and it would have been hilarious. We would have had it on film. Nah, maybe not. But in the end, we ended up putting something, and it worked out, so.
Yeah, but after about an hour or so, my arms got pretty tired. So you see me kind of going like this during the filming, and it's real awkward. But hopefully you already watched the movie and didn't notice.
Now they're going to go watch the movie and notice.
They care that much.
They have their own copy of the movie.
If you pay me $10.
If you're buying it from him, they're illegally distributed.
Yeah.
So we could call the FBI on him.
Copyright and all that.
Yeah. So what were some obstacles that the filming faced?
Well, most people seem to have very busy lives and don't want anything to do with our movies. So they just, you know.
Are you saying we don't have busy lives?
Well, we're busy making high-quality productions like this. The other main obstacle is that none of us have any idea what the hell we're doing, so it takes us forever to film anything. But I'm going to blame the monkey behind the camera on that one. Looking at you, monkey.
You're usually the monkey.
They don't need to know that.
So what is it like going through all the footage and having to edit it down and make the final cut?
That takes about, 5 times longer than the actual filming, and no one thinks about that. And I hate listening to myself talk, so that's really cringeworthy.
Go back to the movie. Help
me!
That's what
real bad.
Like.
Don't let me act again. But the fun part is making all the sound effects. You just wander around looking for random objects that make weird noises.
Yeah, just kind of hit stuff and see what happens.
I wonder what this does. Like, if James stabbed me in the abdomen and we make a good sound effect, we'd probably do it.
Yeah, that's probably up for the next movie. So.
Yeah. Damage Control 3.
Going into production next year.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I don't know.
Now, we got a very special thing. We got the very handsome Slaughter here with me now.
I wouldn't say handsome, but I'd say drop dead gorgeous.
I mean, you're a pretty sharp dresser. I don't. Where do you get your clothes? I mean, really.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
So let's just get down to brass tacks. I know you're a busy guy. You gotta do all this stuff. A bunch of different movie deals. You got a record, I think, coming out. But let's get right to it. How'd you get into character?
Get into character. I never left character.
Interesting. Oh. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, well. What were some highlights of the shooting process, or processes, as you may call them in Harvard?
Getting to choke Mary and knock her out. That was pretty entertaining. I mean, how often do you get to legally put chloroform on a rag and get a girl on the ground? I mean, come on.
Can we say that on TV? So, what were some obstacles you had to overcome?
Well, some kiddies felt like their lives were more important than the movie. You know what I have to say to that?
Oh, wow. I mean, you gave Martin Luther King a run for his money with those obstacles, man. How was it balancing, like, a horror and a comedy role, trying to balance the two like a juggler? I mean, you couldn't be too funny, but you couldn't be too just horror. It had to be connected.
Well, if you do it right, horror is comedy. I mean, when I hit Nate with a machete in the stomach, come on, who didn't laugh? There wasn't a dry eye in the house. And when we pulled Rippin's jaw off, I mean, whew, I laughed pretty hard. I don't know about you guys, but it was a blood orgy.
Interesting. Yeah. So it was great having you on here. I mean, not too often I actually get to interview a real celebrity like you. I mean, I want to be you.
Oh, it was nice being here. I just got one more thing to tell.
Nice seeing you today. Nice.
Yeah.